So welcome back in another tutorial video of our advanced vehicle system. And last of part we set up the vehicle, and now in this part we will fix the glitch of driving vehicle, and we'll be set up the vehicle that why the vehicle was flying on the sky. Okay, the first issue is that we need to customly generate the collisions. So I already generate. So what you need to do, just delete what they gave, and then like you can select all and press delete. And once you delete, you can go to settings, then all bones, and then just select the base and the wheels. And once you select them, right mouse and add a shape, that is collision basically, and then just press that. Once you do that, just disable again to hide all bones, then select all of your collisions, then simply just select here that you want balls or shaper and just regenerate, and it will be automatically scale that for you. And for the base, make sure that you give this enough occasion, okay, or it will be not work. Then save that. And now if I try to show you with play, as you can see, the vehicle is now on ground and even it's working also. Just we need to now set up the wheels. Like, just go to your sport, and then let's give it value to 45. I guess it should be work properly. Compile save, play. Quite enough good, but I guess we need little bit more, so not so much, so that's why I'm going to give 48, or let's give it 49 by 49. Compile save. Now let's click on play, and as you can see, now it's quite enough good, but still it's looking like it's on ground. So I guess the perfect value is 52. Compile save, and 52. Compile save. Yes, quite enough, looking great. Okay, this time it's looking quite enough great. Okay, now as you can see, this is now a totally drivable vehicle, so now we can drive that vehicle easily. It's looking totally great. It's also a physics and it's good. Okay, now what we need to do is, second, we want to basically control that, as you can see, the upside, the bones, like the like, just think that you have now this vehicle. Okay, like you can drive that, still looking at, as you can see, tires still looking on ground. I'm not sure why it's looking, so let's give it that 60, brother. 60 by 60. Compile save. Now let's click on play. Yes, now it's looking quite enough, 80% perfect. Okay, now the vehicle have physics. Now let's set up the collisions so that we can verify that are we near of that car or not, or we can drive or not. And then we'll be set up the camera changing system. Okay, now let's remove that all the physics that and whatever we open. Okay, on this vehicle we have basically a spin arm for the front one too. So now the first thing, we need to see that how our driver can look from this. Like, as you can see, it's totally very hard for driver see from this vehicle, because this windows is not too much clear, so we need to make the windows unclear also, and just little bit adjustment like this. Okay, now compile save, then go to event graph, and for camera switch they already give a code for this, so we'll be remove that and we'll be use C keyboard. So once we press C keyboard, and it will be do this. Compile save. Now if I press C, as you can see, basically shift into camera, but the actual issue is even we can see, but it's totally very hard to drive from inside. Okay, just look, it's very hard. So for understand the vehicle, how was the camera, So what you can do, just simply drag and just simply let's give it some more up, more little bit back. I hope we get more coverage. Now it's looking some more easy. Look around, as you can see. Yeah, it's looking it's this time is working properly. Like you can see that, yep, it's working totally great. And yeah, oh, our vehicle, no. Okay, now compile, save. Now at here we need to give one more stuff, like we need to add a box collision. So just on components, let's now set up for, like, if you go near of that vehicle, so we'll get any button so we can drive that vehicle. So simply add a box collision. This box collision will help you to verify that are we near of that vehicle or not. So simply like this, because this is a override collision, so you don't need to worry that are it's hitting on that accurate position or not, so you don't need to worry. So now if we are near of that vehicle like this distance, so there's a text will be appear for us that yep, we can drive that stuff. So compile, save. So at here what will we do is, now we can give like this, like now we need a third-person character, so we can test. So simply click on add, then add a feature content, that third-person character. Simply click on add. So we have now the third-person character. So compile and save. As you can see, it's compiling schedule, doesn't matter. And make sure we have a vehicle, so we can try. Okay, this is not that one which we set up, so just remove that and let's drag and drop our vehicle, which one we create, sport, and as our sport vehicle, simply like this. Okay, we have this now. Okay, now on game mode we need to just simply change, because we want to, we need our own character, so we can just that, and we can play around like a third-person character. Okay, simply click on play. We have this thing. Now we want that when you go near of that vehicle like this, okay, like this, when we go near of that vehicle, there's a text will be should be appear for us that yep, you can drive that vehicle, or press E to drive or do something. So create a widget, and on the widget will be write that UI vehicle enter. So at here double click and open. Now add a simple canvas panel. So on this canvas panel, first we can add a button. So this button will be show or tell us to, it will be basically give a message that yeah, you can press E to enter. So E plus P, drag that, press press E to enter. Okay, press E to enter, and let's change this button color, something like this, and I'm making some transparent so it will be look more great. And then let's give it the border at center. Now we need to spawn the UI in our vehicle, or even you can do that on a character class too, but I'm going to do that in my vehicle. So what will we do? On the begin play, it will be create that widget. So create widget, and then let's add the vehicle and UI. Then we need a promote variable, so we can control that in future. So promote a variable, let's give it that UI ref, that is basically our UI reference. So then it will be act with viewport, but at here it will be the add with once this widget will create, then we want to hide that widget. So set visibility, to hidden, so it will be disappear from the UI. Now we want that once we collide with that box collision or overlap that, we want that this thing, I want to visible that UI. So at here we can call that cast to character class, and if character class it will be collide. What will we do is we'll set visibility is visible, and if we out of that box like this, so they will be do the same process, but this time it will be basically hide that or hidden that. Simple connect like this, set it to hidden, compile, save. Now let's try. So as you can see, we don't have anything. Now let's go to near of that vehicle, and as you can see, it's working. Like if we go out of that box collision, it will be show that it will not show anything. But if you go that near of that collision, it will be say that, yep brother, press E to enter, okay. Or even let's use F to also, like lots of game use F for entry, and so we can use that F, or you can give it E, doesn't matter. So let's change that here, and let's make it some smaller because I don't want too large. Now we need to just adjust that location, that it's working or it's displaying on proper location or not. We need to just do some, as you can see, this time is working quite great. Like the area is quite good. Now we want that when we press the E keyboard, it should be then we can control that vehicle. We want that, and also we want to, then we don't want our character then, so we need to make that system for entry and exit. So let's make that. Okay, so we have this thing, like we can verify. Then what you need, that once our character, okay, whatever character it is, once this thing press E keyboard or press enter of keyboard, so then we want to drive that vehicle. So let's open our third person character blueprint character class, and at here let's create a custom event in that enter try. So yeah, basically try to enter. Okay, so this enter trigger will be executed with E keyboard. So once we press the E keyboard, so E keyboard, where does that go? E, maybe C, E, there's the E. So let's press that enter, E, enter try. So once we press E, it will be try to execute the custom event. And what does this custom event do? It will be try to execute this vehicle. Okay, like we want that now. Let me make it like this. So if we are pressing E, so we want to enter basically on that vehicle. So for entering that, we need to use that get player controller, and then we need that possess, and the target is us and the pawn is self, like this vehicle. We want to control that vehicle, that's why. Also we can do with overlapping. If we want, we can do with overlap actor, but for this case we'll do like this, that this will process or this will reference. Okay, now we want that this thing for process, before process this vehicle, like before taking this vehicle, we need to call that. So let's create a custom right here, that enter now. And there's also a boolean, we need a boolean that is driving, so it will be verify that if we are already driving, so we can exit from that vehicle. If you are not, with that same key we can drive. So if it's true, so it will be process, and then if it's false, then it will be unpossess the self actor, And even we don't need unpossessed, we can basically change that character against him. So we need now a variable, so create a variable that player ref, and we will set here that BP third person character and it's object reference, so BP third person object ref. Compile, save, and we'll be get that, and from that what will we do? The same process, simply just take the process node and connect it with the pawn. And if it's if we are driving, then we can basically unpossess ourselves like from the driving, and basically our player will be possessed. And if it's not, like we are not driving, false condition, so then we can drive that vehicle. Compile, save. Now we want to execute this custom event. Now what we need to do, we basically need this vehicle reference in our character. So for setup that, we need to remove that casting character node, and we need to add cast to our BP third person character. So we'll be get, or we can set up some reference at here. So at here, instead of that BP character, we'll be create a variable that vehicle ref, that is basically the vehicle reference. At here we'll be write our vehicle name, that is sport vehicle car pawn, that object reference. Compile, save. So we want that. Once we get that reference, and then we will verify that is validity, if it's valid or not. If it's valid, so enter. Now we try to execute that enter button like this. Compile, save. Now we want to set that from our at here, so simply search that set vehicle vehicle ref. So at here we'll be simply save our this vehicle reference to simply get that self reference, and then if it's false, then it will be 2, it will be clear that, so simply connect it like this. And one more, and at here we'll be simply remove that self, and we'll be simply leave it like empty. So if it's empty, it will be automatically saved, because if it don't have any data to enter, so it will automatically count like a empty data, so our variable will clear automatically. Now compile and save. Now let's try to play, and if we go near of that vehicle, should be E, and yep, as you can see, we can now drive that vehicle easily. And then if we press again E, oh sorry, now we need to do the same process for our vehicle too, because we changed their control that enter now. So let's give it that E keyboard, so E keyboard, because we need to now give the same code for our vehicle too. So once we are pressing E keyboard from our vehicle, it will be verify that are we are driving or not, and if we are driving, then it will be process our character. Again I do the same mistake, it should be on up, it should be on down. It's false, it should be do this, and if it's true, it should be give this. We do this, and compile, save. Now it should be work. Let's try. So now if I go near of that vehicle, press E, so I can drive that vehicle, and let's drive some. Then if I press E, oh, it's not working. Oh, we can do one more stuff, like at the reference, like at here, instead of that our vehicle BP, let's search that begin play. So Ctrl plus B, maybe I said right, Ctrl plus B, or Ctrl C. What is the shortcut I write? I forget. Begin play. Oh, there's already in begin play. So what we need to do, get all actor from class, and then we need our character reference. So BP third person character, and we already have, so we'll be set that. From that we'll be get a copy and simply connect it like this. and connect with this. Now our character reference should be 100% work, should be work 100%. Let's go. Why it's not working? Let's see. Reference, the player phone is possessed, the player controller E is used. Oh, just look guys, we need to true also our boolean, so let's give it true, and it's false, then give it we are leave. Once we enter that vehicle, the boolean should be true, and once we press again E keyboard and we leave from that vehicle, then it should be, the boolean should be false. Compulsory. Now it should be work 100%. Let's see, hopefully it should be work. E, and let's type some, and E, yes, it's working. Like which one we need, it's working. So even we can go again up near that vehicle and we can drive. Now there is a glitch. What kind of glitch? Let me show you. Once we drive that vehicle, we have that vehicle reference, I'm sure. So if I try to press E, oh no, yeah, it's working, because we cleared that variable data, that once we out of that box collision, the vehicle ref should be become empty or there's no value. So that's why it's not working. So now if you go and enter of that near of that vehicle, it should be working. Now we need to do one more stuff, like we want to basically attach our actor with that vehicle. So wherever we go, doesn't matter, our vehicle, our player will our vehicle, then once we press the E keyboard, then our player should be dropped from this vehicle like this. Okay, or even we can spawn at here, so there's no issue if we spawn at here. So now we need some stock. I guess for this video that is enough. It's more than 20 minutes. So in next video or next tutorial video, we try to do that mechanism or try to create that mechanism. So thank you so much for watching this. Love you all. Bye. See you in next tutorial video.